What happens when you take the most stubborn legion in the Imperium, give them religious trauma, tell them the Emperor is a god, and then tell them to never stop fighting? You get the Black Templars, the only chapter whose HR policy is "Have you tried killing it harder?" Welcome back to another episode of Turtle Warhammer, and today we are obviously going over the Black Templars. The Black Templars come from the Imperial Fists, sons of Rogal Dorn, who was their Primarch. Now, Dorn was all about discipline, fortifications, and emotional repression. There was also his second-hand man, Sigismund, and he was the first captain of the Imperial Fists. He was also the first Emperor's champion. But here's where the drama started. During the Horus Heresy, Sigismund started believing the Emperor was a god, and Dorn did not like that at all. Dorn believed the Emperor was a man, just a perfect, brilliant, hyper-intelligent man. And Sigismund believed, if God bleeds, I'm going to bleed for him. And that tension caused a rift between Sigismund and Dorn. After the heresy, Guilliman breaks allegiance into chapters with the Codex Astartes. Dorn wasn't a big fan of it. He eventually got convinced to do it, and he told Sigismund, take the most zealous warriors and go crusade forever. And that wasn't a suggestion, that was just a way to exile him with a blessing. Unlike most chapters that guard one sector, the Black Templars are fleet-based. They do not have a homeworld. They live on a massive crusade fleets. They are constantly fighting somewhere, and it's been 10,000 years. They have not stopped. Imagine a war that's been going on since before your species even discovered electricity. That's just an average Tuesday for them. The Codex Astartes says that there's supposed to be 1,000 Marines per chapter. The Black Templars say, that's cute, we don't care. Because they're split into crusade fleets, each fleet technically functions semi-independently, so nobody really knows their true numbers. Some lore sources suggest they may have several thousand active battle brothers at once. But because they're always on a crusade and not centralized, Guilliman can't really audit them, which is kind of funny, because they really can't be found anywhere, and if they are, it's usually because they're in the middle of a giant battle, or they're on their way to a giant battle. The Black Templars still compete in this thing called the Feast of Blades. It's basically a dueling tournament between successors of the Imperial Fists. It's basically who's the best son of Dorn. Lots of honor, lots of swords, lots of ego. Sigismund himself once dominated duels, which makes sense because he fought Chaos champions like they owed him money. If you want peak Black Templar energy, the Third War for Armageddon, enter Chaplain Grimaldus. During the defense of Hell's Reach, Grimaldus becomes the spiritual anchor of the city. He holds the line against overwhelming orc forces. He watches civilians die, he watches titans fall, he watches the city burn, and he does not break. Another thing about the Black Templars is their hatred of psykers. The Black Templars refuse to field librarians. They basically believe that psychic power is dangerously close to heresy. Meanwhile, the Imperium literally runs on psykers. Emperor's champion is a duel or die. Before major battles, Templars may receive a vision. He is chosen as Emperor's champion. He takes up the black sword. He seeks enemy leaders. He fights in single combat. Sigismund carried this tradition into legend. He eventually fought Abaddon the Despoiler during the First Black Crusade. He was over 1,000 years old at the time as well. He nearly killed Abaddon. He ended up losing because of plot armor, but he should have won. Abaddon even declared him like the strongest opponent he's ever faced, and Abaddon respected him deeply for it. In 40k, earning a Chaos War Master's respect usually requires being absolutely built different, and Sigismund was that guy. Now there's a current High Marshal. His name is High Marshal Helbrecht, and he is peak holy rage. He fought the Necrons, lost a hand, it got replaced, and he came back angrier. He has personally led crusades across the galaxy. When Guilliman returned in the Indomitus era, Helbrecht didn't bow quietly. He respected Guilliman. He still prioritized the crusade because Black Templars answer to faith first, politics second. And Black Templars don't fear death. They don't fear demons. They don't fear overwhelming odds. They believe dying in the Emperor's name is a promotion. And you can't really intimidate someone who thinks dying is a win condition because they're doing it for their god. So that's kind of scary for some people is, yeah, sure, they might die, but that's honestly one of the best things that can happen to them still. These guys also love to just get all up in your shit and punch you in the face as hard as you can. These guys are all melee combat. I don't want to say all melee. They do have some guns, but they prefer to use swords, chain weapons, fists, anything that they're all up in your face. They want you to know that you're dying because you're different. They're kind of known as the most racist group in the 40k universe just because they kill Xenos on sight. Just because they're different and they know they don't praise the Emperor. They obviously kill chaos and heretics as well. They believe if you don't believe in the Emperor hard enough, then you aren't good enough to live. So you're going to die because you either look different or because you think different. They think that they are the superior ones because they truly think the Emperor is a god and everybody needs to praise them. And maybe that's why they're my favorite faction of Space Marine. I can't say exactly why, but once I've toned it down, I've realized, yep, these are my guys. And there's not a whole bunch to them. I mean, there's definitely plenty of stories because they've been on a crusade for 10,000 years. But just finding out who they are, they're honestly pretty simple. They just want to kill things that are different. And that's pretty much all they care about is praising the Emperor and killing things that don't praise the Emperor. So that is the Black Templars for you. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a comment of a faction you want to hear next, and maybe you'll be featured in another video. That is all I have for you guys. Drop a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys later with some more Warhammer content.